Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Meet the Faculty series. Tonight, our feature program is the Graduate Diploma in Hospitality Management. We're coming to you live from Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. I'll just go over a little bit of housekeeping here to start with. In our webinar format tonight, we will accept questions throughout, and then we'll answer all of the questions at the end. So if you have a question, please type it into the Q&A feature. There's also a chat feature that you can see, and we'll be checking there frequently throughout the presentation. Tonight, we have joining us Peter Briscoe, who is the chair of our hospitality management program. Peter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'd love to. Welcome and thank you for taking the time out of your life to come and learn about what we do at Vancouver Island University, and particularly in the hospitality management program, which we are closing in on 50 years of delivering high quality education to people that are interested in getting into hospitality management. And this is an exciting new program for us, the Graduate Diploma in Hospitality Management. And we really do hope to see you one time at our beautiful campus in Nanaimo.
Thank you, Peter. My name is Leanne Spasnik. I'm the Manager of International Communication and Recruitment. We also have two students joining us here tonight. So following Peter's presentation, we'll cut to the students and they'll have a discussion about life at VIU and what it's like to study in the hospitality management faculty or program. So we'll get started with your presentation here, Peter. You can take it away when you're ready.
Okay, well, thanks, Leanne, for that. And again, welcome to you all, wherever you are. Where we are in Nanaimo right now, it's in the late evening. So if you're enjoying the early morning, I really envy you as the sun comes up and shines on your day. I'm going to go over a few parts of what specifically about the Graduate Diploma in Hospitality Management, why we've put it together, and how it will benefit you. And that's really what's important to us. We welcome the world. I think that's not an understatement. And in our programs at the university, we have an incredibly diverse student body in all different ages and all different backgrounds. And it is a wonderful place to be. Canada is a very welcoming country, and Vancouver Island University is also a very welcoming campus. So we really do look for people that want to come to Canada to study. Some want to stay longer and others want to return home, but we really do welcome the world. So you're interested in this and we are interested in you. So the Graduate Diploma in Hospitality Management, what we did is surveyed a number of different programs across North America and around the world. And we decided to focus in on a very specific type of education, very specific type of offering. And with the, I'll call it the GDHM, the Graduate Diploma in Hospitality Management, it's a total of 24 months. One of the key things we heard from our students is that they need every once in a while to have a break. And we know that more and more today, particularly when we're dealing with COVID-19 around the world. Well, so we have scheduled in that 24-month period a 3.5-month break that is free time for you. Perhaps it's to return, to visit, to look more around Vancouver Island and the beautiful surroundings. It's full-time, and it is a cohort-based delivery. You remain in your cohort throughout all the courses, and you get to establish friendships, peers, groups, and so forth. It is really what we have found in the past to be the best method of delivery. We also look at putting your schedule as specific as possible. So if you're planning to work while you're at the university and outside employment, that allows you some certainty of what your schedule is going to be like. It has a very specific connection to the industry. The industry in British Columbia and in Canada is really looking for talented people. Really, there's a tremendous shortfall, and we are desperate to get really good people into the hospitality industry. Graduating internship and consulting project that happen in the last semester and last part of the program are very important. It connects you with industry, it gives you hands-on skills, and also with the consulting project, it puts you in front of employers where you can shine, where you can show them what you do and how you can do it very well and benefit them in their business. We have put in a number of different courses to prepare you to do that. Some programs, and I'm not trying to be negative, but some programs just simply say, well, there you go, try this work experience. We don't do that. Not at Vancouver Island University. We prepare you to go out. There's a dedicated faculty, there's a dedicated program that helps you put together your best presence to go out and get into the workforce as part of your education. We work through and with you and engage industry people so that when you enter into the hospitality management program, you're prepared for what it is and they are prepared for you. It's very experiential and applied. We learn by doing. And the sole focus, I believe, of the graduate diploma is decision making. You have to make those. And so that's what we do. We focus on experiential learning and applied learning in both our laboratories and simulations. This is a brief overview. I'm not going to go into any detail. If you have questions about them, certainly you can ask. Split into 2 years, year 1, of course, and year 2. And we focus, if you start looking at the courses, really around areas where you'll be able to gather information, develop skills and knowledge, to really become an essential decision-making member of any organization. That's our goal. There's a foundational functional knowledge area within the graduating diploma. So if you have a background outside of hospitality and want to get a graduate diploma, a graduate level education in hospitality management, we make sure that you have those foundational skills. If you're coming to us with an existing undergraduate degree in hospitality, perhaps tourism or events, this will augment that information and will help you dig deeper into those subjects and into that content area. So one of the key things at Vancouver Island University, and you'll hear a little bit later, perhaps from Riley, one of our graduates, about working on your career, integrating a professional and personal development, and this idea of a graduating consulting project. What this does is that you put forward a proposal. You work, hopefully, with a sponsor or an industry person where you are trying to help them solve a problem, look at something, develop something for them. You work through a course that you develop the framework for that graduating project. You present it to a panel. You must get approval for you to go out and do that, and then you engage in that. You engage in that along with the internship. So we move you through. We get you prepared to go out and engage in the industry, put you in a situation where you're going to have a focused graduating project, which is yours. You get it, but also share it with your employer partner. And then you go out in this graduating internship and engage. So it's really important. We have at Vancouver Island University over as I said, close to 50 years, a lot of really strong supporting partners in learning. And that's really what it is. These companies want you. They want talented people with education, with drive, with a desire to be in their industry. And they are constantly looking for talented people. And they turn to us. We have good working relationships with them. They recruit on campus. They come and speak to our students. They're always looking for ways to engage with our students and our graduates. So these are just some of the ones that you would probably recognize: Accor, Intercontinental, Marriott, and so forth. There are some also domestic or localized hospitality providers, which give a very unique and Canadian experience for those students that engage there. One key thing to be able to make decisions is to analyze, to take in information, to take it apart, to think about it, to synthesize it, to evaluate it, and then to make a decision. So we really work closely one-on-one with our students to develop those skills over their time with us. Analytical skills in and of itself is a task. It's what you do with that information, what decisions you make, what actions you take, which is the really valuable part of the education that you would get at Vancouver Island University through the GDHM. So who do we select? Well, probably you, but we really like to hear from people that have, well, they have to have an undergraduate degree. We have one exception, but an undergraduate degree in hospitality management, you would, or from a recognized university, C+ grade point average in the last 60 credits, yes, you come in. If you don't have an undergraduate in a related field, an undergraduate degree in a related field, yes, the same grade point average applies, but we're looking for some work experience in the industry. And that really differs for different applicants. But what we want to make sure is that you have a knowledge of the industry and that it is a fit for you, because that's very important for our program and our partners in learning. It's really key that you have some information about that. If you do not have an undergraduate degree, but some senior work experience within the industry, we look at 10 years, and then we would be certainly looking at your application to invite you to join this graduate diploma. Other requirements, very straightforward in a lot of ways, is that if your existing degree was from a country where English is not the primary or official language of instruction, and then you would have to meet our English language requirements at Vancouver Island University.
I can pop in there for a second, Peter, and just say that our English language requirement for graduate programs is an IELTS 7.0, no band below 6.5 or equivalent, and we accept many of the common tests, so you can find out that information on our website.
Thank you, Leanne. Yes, you're much more versed in that information. So we expect all applicants to have a competency in mathematics that would be normal for a hospitality professional. And all applicants must complete a statement of interest. What that really does is help us understand why you're choosing our program, how you're going to come in. It helps us customize your education for you. So our ultimate goal is innovative decision makers within the industry. And I think we've proven that over years, but we'd like to do that at a graduate level. Career opportunities. Well over 95% of all of our students across our university come to our university to improve their employment prospects. They take their education and move on and move into their careers. Applicants to our graduate diploma in hospitality management are no different. And we understand that. Our professional degree is a professional designation. So some of the career paths that come from our statistics in Canada are outlined here. And if you look on the bottom where it says high demand occupancy, all of those are yes, 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 yes. Why? Because they are. Those are we're facing a couple of things. One, people like me will soon retire. And two, there's an increasing number of people that are coming to Canada, traveling and visiting, and that gap between people leaving and people arriving and the increased business is put approximately about 240 or 250,000 jobs that are short. So the industry associations that I speak with and that engage with me are always looking for our top graduates. They're really keen on it. So if you have any questions about is there employment, well, there is, absolutely. Other questions about tuition? There is a tuition calculator here. I don't know, Leanne, if you want to speak to that at this point or just leave it as is.
Sure, I can just say a couple words about it. The cost calculator is programmed so that students can plan for their financial needs while they're studying at Vancouver Island University. And so it includes not only the program tuition, but also living expenses, transportation, food, and things like that, that people who are from other parts of the world wouldn't necessarily know.
Great. Thank you, Leanne. The other thing I should mention is when we structured the graduate diploma in hospitality management, we took the approach that it's one price that includes everything. So it includes your tuition, it includes all of your learning materials, all of your ebooks, all the access to all the journals. It includes all the field trips. It includes all the access to industry professionals, to networking events, to your internships. All those are considered in the one fee that is what we call the tuition for this program. Applications, the start date for this program is September 6, 2021. We're excited about that. And we're accepting applications now, right through until the end of June of 2021. There are
we encourage sorry, we encourage early applications though, because people want to leave as much time as possible in order to apply for their study permit.
Yes, exactly. That's something that you definitely have to consider, and we also make those decisions quite quickly. So it is one of those things where if you are at all considering this, and this is something that would change your life, and you'd like to come and contribute to our program and us to contribute to you, apply early. It really makes a difference. Well, thank you for listening to me. It's one of those things where I'm talking to a screen, and hopefully I've been at least engaging, so you've answered, and I've answered some of your questions. But we do have a chance for you to hear from other people, which is probably better. So
before we move on, Peter, can I just ask one quick question? Can you talk a little bit about the very vibrant industry on Vancouver Island? Because this is a world-class destination where we live and learn.
Absolutely. One of the things about, if you've not looked into what Vancouver Island is and where it's located, is that we are very much a unique blend of, I will say, urban and rural, or the areas where people like to visit. Some spectacular scenery, spectacular wildlife, the ocean, there's mountains. It really is an engaging place to be. And we have some very incredible and unique hospitality businesses located in remote areas where there's fly-in resorts. We have a myriad of small and large resorts. I mean, some of them are just absolutely beautiful. I know one beautiful one up the coast called Tainamara, which has a great staff, I'll say that, and it also beautiful log cabins, and they sit right on top of the beach, and it's just gorgeous. One of the things about British Columbia and the sense of hospitality is that it's well supported, it's respected, it's a very worthwhile pursuit. It's considered a career in British Columbia.
Thank you, Peter. Let's move on to the student panel discussion now. I'd like to introduce Mr. Brian Lynn, who is a current student at VIU. He's in his final semester of his MBA program in the Faculty of Management. Brian, would you like to take over the reins here and lead the panel?
Thank you, Leanne. And again, it's a pleasure to be here. So today I have the honor to join this very distinguished panel. Certainly, I just want to echo the fact that Peter actually just mentioned. The reason why I actually ended up selecting VIU in the beginning was all really because of the sunny, or in fact, the sunshine in the West Coast. So for that reason, needless to say, this particular destination is really known for its very tourism-centric. On a daily basis, you will be amazed in terms of the scenery. But let me just pass it on to tonight and our very more important guest, Ms. Riley Carswell. So she's one of our distinguished alumni under the hospitality program. In fact, she's now presently employed at one of the very renowned seaside resorts in the west coast of BC, actually, British Columbia. So I'll ask her to share with us her inspirations and also some of the perspectives and insights that I'm sure you all will be very much amazed, just as I am. So welcome again, Riley.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Brian. So yes, I'm Riley. I graduated with my degree in hospitality management this past May. I'm currently working at Tinamera Resort as a guest services agent. So I chose VIU because of the smaller class sizes, and I heard about their hospitality program being one of the best. I think that hospitality at VIU is great because they put you in a cohort so you can really get to know all of your classmates, all of your teachers on a little bit of a bigger level than you could say at some other bigger universities. I found you could really make connections with teachers as well. They really get to know you throughout the 2 years. Myself, it was the 4 years, but from the first time you step in the classroom, they really get to know you up until when you graduate with your degree. So the teachers have also worked in all of the industries, so from hotels, resorts, restaurants. So I think that kind of their industry perspective really shows in their teaching as well, which is a really valuable skill as well. So compared to other programs, like I said before, they really get to know you on a little bit of a personal level, just with the 2 years that the graduate program is going to be going on for. They really have open office hours. They always want to help you. If you need that little extra help on that assignment, their office hours are always open to you, and they always want to figure out a way to figure out how they can help you. So while completing my degree, there's 3 co-op placements that you have to find a job for. And VIU made it so easy to provide us with networking opportunities, such as job fairs to expand our networks and make connections for those co-ops. One of my co-ops, I worked at Black Rock Resort, which is in Ucluelet on the west coast of Vancouver Island. I was a sales and events supervisor, which I totally got from one of the networking sessions I attended in Vancouver through VIU. So without that connection, I probably wouldn't have gotten that job, which is crazy. And then my other 2 I did at Tinamera Resort in Parksville, which I also found that connection through VIU as well. With such an established program, they have so many incredible connections. So they can easily find you work or co-ops and stuff like that as well. So currently I'm now completing my postgraduate certificate in public relations. We're expanding my knowledge a little bit further. I want to do communications and marketing one day for wineries, restaurants, and resorts. So since I've learned so many skills from my hospitality degree, like consumer behavior, event management, risk management, resort management, the list really goes on. There's just so many skills that I've learned. I also think that Nanaimo is such a great place to go to school. Just because you're in the hub, you're a quick day trip away from Tofino. You can go to Victoria, Vancouver. They're all really you're really in the hub, as Nanaimo is known for being a hub city. It's also just a beautiful place. We don't have a crazy amount of snow, so hiking year round is really, really accessible as well. I think that pretty much covers myself. If anyone does have any questions, though, just feel free to put them in the chat below or anything, or yeah, I'd be happy to help you guys with that.
Alrighty, that's really inspirational for sure. I mean, having heard the career path that you have gone through so far, and I definitely see a lot of continuous development. So what would be one of the, I believe you kind of mentioned, but what are some of the more important courses that you feel that really impacted your career growth so far while at VIU?
Yeah, I think probably even like managing cultural diversity, and like since the hospitality program is such a diverse a group of people, there's people from all over the world, China, India, and then even like all over Canada. I think that that's a really valuable skill because with working in the hospitality, it's such a obviously world-renowned or world industry. So working with different cultures and stuff like that and learning cultural differences, I think that still to this day, I can take skills from those classes that I've learned and apply that to my working environment now.
Wow, that's awesome. If I can one more, would you, and it feels to me that it's definitely positive, I just wanted to hear from you that say that you're now having gone through VIU, having received this credential through VIU, it makes you more confident to be competitive globally, or you basically can take the hospitality credential and go anywhere in the world.
Definitely, yeah. I think that it's not just something that you're learning about like Canadian, like hospitality, like a lot of people take it back, like get their degree here, get the knowledge, and then take it back to their home country in India or in China or anything like that. So I definitely think that the skills that you learn, you can kind of take those skills and apply it to different countries around the world, just because it is such a diverse learning environment as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. And I'm sure that if there are any other further questions for Riley, please, the audience here, please feel free to put your questions within the Q&A section. Feel free to type it in, and we very shortly we'll have a question and answer session, which will be sure to address any interest or doubts that you may have. But for now, if I can ask for about 2 minutes of your time, I would like to run a very quick poll just to be here, to be able to hear from you, particularly those with interest are presently considering to join VIU as a student, just so that we can make some further fine-tune our planning and make your experience even better. So if you can bear with me, I'm gonna pull up the poll. Please, just about 2 minutes of your time, if you can answer 2 questions for me, the prospective interest of students. I'm sure you all should be able to see the questions now. So the first question talks about, we wanted to know, when do you think you will be able to make a decision to apply for the program, the hospitality management program? And we're looking at somewhere from 3 months all the way to perhaps someone who's not sure, or someone might need more than a year. And also we wanted to know from you, what are some of the top 3 factors that actually would influence your program selection? Quite commonly we hear about immigration matters or concerns, or is it academic support? You want to make sure that you have a balanced recreational life. Well, in fact, that's what you will be able to get in Nanaimo. After all, this is a very touristic destination, right? Imagine that you're studying and having a very recreative life here. So just making sure, so I'll just give everybody like probably about 30 more seconds if everybody can just put in. And of course, we won't hold you for, this is really just to be aggregated and further reach out to you to be able to share some insights. Okay, I think we have it. So let me, just briefly from what I'm seeing, there seems to be a mix of results. On average, most people believe that it's about, they probably will need about 6 to 12 months to be able to make a decision. But generally speaking, most people are concerned about the career path as well as the matters relating to immigration. And again, feel free, this echoes the fact that that's why we're gonna have a question and answer session right now to be able to address any doubts or interests that you may have. So thank you again. So I will now basically, let me pass it back to Leanne to be able to end this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian and Riley. We appreciate your comments there. Very helpful. So we're going to move into a Q&A session now. If you do have questions, please enter them into the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We have a few that have come in already, and so we'll get to answering those. So Peter, if you'd like to unmute yourself, we have some questions here. How do you prepare graduates to get into the industry while it is being hit hard by COVID at the moment?
What a great question. Wow, that is a very good question. One of the biggest challenges, of course, is keeping us safe. I mean, that's a real guiding principle about how our province, our government has approached people working in our industry, both from a guest point of view and also from a service provider's point of view. And I think we've done extremely well. We really have done extremely well. We put a lot of protocols in place, and people have been getting to work. Now, so how do we get you into that? Well, there's lots of ways to be able to do that. What is happening, which is challenging, is that there's a bit of a shortfall in staffing right now, and there is some fluctuation in demand. So a lot of domestic tourists, where we used to be an international destination for a lot of people to come and visit Vancouver Island University. Now people are traveling from some of our major centers like Victoria and Vancouver and coming and visiting, Tainamara Resort, where Riley is working. And so they're seeing sometimes 100% occupancy. So we really still believe that there's demand, and we work very closely with the student. So there's a couple of things that I didn't really mention, and I should. With that, we have a dedicated faculty that's their job. Their job is to work with you to find those positions, those internships. And the internships are all paid. We do not believe in, I'll call it free labor. You bring skills, knowledge, expertise, and you need to be compensated for that. So it's our philosophy, and it's what we follow.
Thank you. Along those same lines, we have a question. Is it possible for students to work while they're studying? And I think this question is getting more at having a part-time job at the same time as they're doing their studies. Is that possible in this program?
Well, let me ask very quickly, Riley, what was your experience?
Yeah, actually, so for my first co-op, I worked at Tainamara, and then they actually wanted to keep me on even after the summer to work 2 to 3 times a week, just because they have Christmas parties and stuff like that, and they're still busy throughout the Christmas season. So I still stayed part-time about, I would say, 25 hours a week throughout the whole 4 years of my degree. So I found it quite manageable, and you kind of get you're learning and also working, which is also really cool to kind of apply those things you're learning every single day to apply to your working as well.
Thank you,
And
Leanne.
And you found that okay with the work-life balance?
Yeah, I totally found it fine. Even if I feel like you could, if you were thinking it's a little bit much, you could go down to 1 or 2 days a week, but I was able to work up to 3, which was nice as well. Yeah.
And to also answer that, Leanne, we were very conscious about that. More and more of our students, international and domestic, wanting and perhaps needing to work. So when we looked at the scheduling of the courses in the GDHM, we have looked at a cohort comes in, they have the exact same times for the entire time through the diploma. So if you're looking for employment, that allows you to give your schedule to the employer with some confidence. I'm not available here, but all that other time I am. So we find that as long as the student can balance it, as Riley said, sometimes 3 is fine, 1's better, and then it does work. It really does show the ambition, I think, in the student.
Mm-hmm. And around Nanaimo, there are so many part-time jobs that are available for students because, as Riley said, we're a hub city where a lot of the other communities come in and do their shopping and go to restaurants and things like that. So there are a great many jobs, and a lot of them would probably be applicable experience for this program as well.
Yeah, one of the things that Riley touched on is actually one of the challenges for people that they go into their co-op, they do an exceptional good job, and Riley did this in her first year, after her first year, and the employer goes, "No, don't go anywhere. I'll hang on to you." And I commend Riley for saying, "Yeah, this is my time for my education." And she's modest. She took full advantage of her time at VIU, and we have a program called Study Abroad. And where did you travel to, Riley?
I went to Melbourne, Australia.
And she studied with one of our partner universities there.
Yeah, so I did. I saved all my elective credits, and then I went for my 3rd year. So it didn't put me back graduating or anything like that. So I still got to graduate on time, but still got to kind of experience it in a different perspective, which was really cool.
And I think that's really key for our program, is that different perspective, that international perspective. That's one of the reasons that we have in May, for a shortened 6-week period, distinguished scholars and industry experts from around the world come to VIU, and they present lecture series to you, and you get to work with those faculty and those experts closely in a concentrated way. So we want to bring different perspectives from around the world. And I already have quite a long list of people that want to come here to visit beautiful Vancouver Island University and engage with our students.
So Riley went to Australia on her study abroad experience. Peter, can you think of some other locations where students have gone?
Yes, in our undergraduate, Australia is one that we have a connection with. We have universities in France and in the Netherlands, in Germany. We have ones in the United States. We have schools in a lot of the Asian countries, Korea, and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunities. What we try and do, and I think this is, I know Riley went through a couple of iterations of where she wanted to go, is that you try and find the best fit for the student and what their aspirations are. And I know that one of the things that came out of that, not only did she get great academics in the university, but also had a chance to explore some of the surroundings in Australia. You know, I think of the project, Riley, you did on the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I got to travel around Australia and stuff. It was hard to choose at first because you're like, do I want to go to Europe and travel all around Europe while I'm studying, or does Australia appeal? I mean, both are amazing, but yeah, I got to travel all over Australia. Even though I was based out of Melbourne, I spent my weekends just kind of going around wherever I could in the 4 months that I was there. So.
And I would say, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Riley, but it really gave you a different view of the world in general.
It definitely did, yeah. Especially, I went to Australia by myself, so being born and I'm born on Vancouver Island, and then also going to university here, it was great. But just kind of to go out in the world by yourself and apply all of these diversity and leadership and all these things you've learned throughout your degree, and you're like, well, wow, I'm by myself. Like it was an amazing experience. I would definitely do it again.
Well, thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you. We have a question from China. This student just graduated with a bachelor degree in accounting last year, and now she's working as an accountant in a company in China. She doesn't have any official English test scores, but only studied English at the university. Will this student be accepted to this program? So if she meets all of the other admission requirements, she would either need to provide a test result of her English level, or she would have to spend at least one semester in our English Language Center. So putting that in motion as quickly as possible would be a good idea, so that if she does have to do maybe a couple semesters of upgrading in our English language program, she'll have time to do that before the September intake, because this program has one intake in a year. Isn't that correct, Peter?
For our initial intake, yes, it's one. And we have planned in the future to have 2 intakes in September and in January.
Very good. Another question from Lily: is it possible for the GDHM to be a master degree in the future? Lily,
you're reading my mind. Yes, one of the and I don't want to become bureaucratic on this, but one of the challenges with master's programs in British Columbia is that it's quite an onerous and lengthy process to get approval from the government to be able to offer those. So although we are working on it right now, we are making efforts to do that, it's probably some time away from now. But I would also say, and I mean, people might argue with me, but I would say that this is definitely a graduate diploma program. It's not a post-degree diploma. It's a graduate diploma. So I, in a lot of ways, would equate it to a master's level.
And it's a similar time frame.
Yeah, we're 24 months, and I believe our MBA right now, Brian, you might be able to change my mind, but I think it's 18 months.
No, actually, it's the same. 2 years as well. Yeah.
So there you are. See?
Yeah. There's an upgrade now, basically.
So those programs, once they're completed, that would make international students eligible to apply for a 3-year postgrad work permit in Canada.
That's my understanding, yes.
We have a question from Jaga Dish. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I hope I'm pretty close. I am from Nepal. Welcome. That's great that you're visiting, that you're watching from Nepal tonight. I have 3 years BA in humanities, and I went to the UK for a certificate level of travel and tourism studies. I am planning to apply to study in this diploma course in 2021, if possible, with English, the university's English preparation course along with the main course. So do you have a sense of those credentials? We can't really do an assessment live, but I think we can say you're very welcome to apply, and we would love to see you here on campus.
Yes, I'll say this. We had 2 fantastic graduates from Nepal that finished up with our Bachelor of Hospitality Management in our undergraduate and are doing exceptionally well, living and working in their careers in British Columbia. So my experience with students from Nepal has been very good. And so we would really like to see your application.
Great. From Catherine, thank you for the question, Catherine. What are the most accurate incomes a student may have monthly if he does not live at the university? I'm not really sure if that's getting at part-time jobs during studying or if it's more about housing costs. Catherine, I'd suggest that you go to our website and take a look at our cost calculator. And that will help you to estimate what the costs would be for living and studying at Vancouver Island University. If you can give me some more specifics, we may be able to answer that a little bit more in a more detailed way. Oh, housing costs. Yes. We have Ami working in the background, and I wonder, Ami, if you could bring up the housing page on the website. Could you share your screen for us? There's our cost calculator. So we have 3 housing options that are all supported by our staff here. We have residences where students can live on campus in a single or double room, and the costs for that are between $500 and $900 per month. We have a homestay program where students can live with a Canadian family. There are options with or without meals. So without meals, it's $500 a month. And then if they want to participate in family meals with 3 meals a day, it's $850 a month. So those are both very, very affordable options. And then we also support students for off-campus housing. So students would be required to find their housing themselves, but we can direct them towards resources and provide information on things like the rights and responsibilities of people as tenants in Nanaimo. And it really depends what you're looking for there. You can have some really affordable options if you're looking to share with another student or a group of students. Or if you want to have an apartment to yourself, that would be obviously a little bit more expensive. Our cost calculator does help out with estimating these costs, and you can also determine how much the cost of living is for things like food. In general, living expenses in Nanaimo tend to run about a third cheaper than in the big cities in Canada, like Vancouver and Toronto. So it's quite an affordable place to live. Thank you for those questions.
Leanne, there's the other thing that transportation system in Nanaimo is also very good. Whether you are interested in just taking taxis or having your own vehicle or using the public transit, it's exceptional, and it moves people to and from the university very well. University is one of the transit hubs.
That's very true. Yeah, we have a bus loop right above our international building on campus. And also, a lot of students choose to live in the area right around the university because we're located just kind of up the hill from a residential area. So there is plenty of off-campus housing available fairly close, and it's actually walkable to campus. And from campus, it takes about 40 minutes to walk downtown where our beautiful harbor is and restaurants and things like that. So it's also walkable to get into the town. We have a question from Roshni. Do we need to do IELTS or is Duolingo acceptable? We have accepted Duolingo for this school year, but we haven't got a final decision on whether it will be accepted in September. So stay tuned on that. I don't think that it will though. So if I were you, Rashi, I would look into getting on the list to do an IELTS exam or similar exam. We also accept TOEFL and Pearson and many other tests. Okay. Peter, can the experience requirement be from anywhere in the world?
Yes. The short answer is yes. I'm aware of that in some cultures, education is completed and then you go to work. In other cultures, you work during your education. In other ones, there's periods of time where you work. So we are fairly flexible in looking at that and that requirement for admission. Well, our really fundamental essence of asking about that is to make sure that you are experienced about what the demands of the workplace are. So anywhere in the world, yes, absolutely. And we have had wonderful applicants for our undergraduate program with really unique and very informative work experiences from other parts of the world. And it brings a tremendous diversity to the classroom and the discussions and to the knowledge of your peers and your classmates.
Right. Oh, I just had a little correction that came through on what I said from the website earlier. Our homestay fee is now $9.50 for a program that includes 3 meals a day. So $9.50 a month. Sorry about that. And thank you for the correction. We don't have any other questions here. If anyone has any further questions, would you like to enter them into the Q&A now? And I'm just having a look to see if I have any messages in chat. No, I think we may have come to the end of our questions. So if there's nothing further, I wanted to say thank you very much to all of our panelists, Peter Briscoe, Brian Lynn, Riley Carswell. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Ami Robinson, for your help in the background tonight and for promotions for this event. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can email worldviu@viu.ca. And oh, we have a message. Thanks from Pakistan. Thank you so much for joining us from Pakistan. And you can follow us on social media. We have a Tuesday Let's Talk series on Instagram right now. So if you tune into our Instagram, or you can check out previous sessions on our Instagram TV, you'll get some information from students and from our faculty on living, studying, and learning at Vancouver Island University. I'd like to invite you to join us for our open house event, which will be on November 6th and 7th, and you can find information about that on our social media as well. We'd love to see you there, and there will be an opportunity to see further presentations and also some have a chance to talk to a recruiter one-on-one. So we hope you'll join us then. In the meantime, have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are. We're signing off from Nanaimo, British Columbia at Vancouver Island University. Thank you very much.